when you decided to, make that jump and leap into it and whatnot, that fear that you had, did you have like a safety net under you? Like maybe, okay, if it doesn't work out, I can go back to Safe Light? Or did you just really just jump in, like completely jump in?
I completely jumped in. Now, in the back of my mind, I knew that if I ever wanted to go back to Safe Light, I could. But I had told myself that that wasn't an option. Even my boss was like, what's your plan B? I'm like, I don't have a plan B because Tied Up doesn't have a choice but to succeed.
Right.
And my biggest thought was like, if I invested that much time, 10 years, into somebody else's business, and I'm telling you, like, I would be on vacation with my laptop. Like, I traveled out of the country with my laptop for Safe Light. I'd be up at 3 o'clock in the morning working for Safe Light. And my thought was, if I can invest that much into that company, if I invested half of that energy into Tied Up, like, there's no way I can fail.
Yeah.
And so I just went full throttle.
That was going to be my next thing. I was going to bring that up, how you said even in your downtime, you were still working. Even when you were planning date night, you were still working.
Yes.
You were glued to your laptop and your phone. How drastically has that changed since you decided to start your own business?
You know what? Actually, when people say, like, as an entrepreneur, like, you'll work harder, it's a true statement. Like, there are days where I am working really, really long days, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day, right? So I don't even think about it. But I do have more time, and I know how to cut it off now, where if I want to plan a date night, like, I'll plan a date night. Things are at the forefront and they're not at the back of my mind anymore. Like I told you, I was planning date night on the clock.
Yes.
I was planning vacations on the clock. Off the clock, I was working for Safe. Like, my life is so backwards. But now, like, I had that balance. But I can create that balance because I'm my own boss.
Yes.
So if I want to shut it off, like, I'm going to shut it off. Like, if I'm not going to schedule you for an errand today, like, I don't have to schedule you,
Yeah.
So work-life balance is mastered to a T now.
It sounds like you really have it down packed, and I wish that maybe I had that too, because at this point, I'm having a hard time shutting it down.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, if I just put out this last little thing, like, and then that goes into something else, and then that goes into something else, and before I know it, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I'm like, I should have been sleeping if I would have been sleeping. Okay, so let's talk about, I want to talk about exactly what it is that your business brings.
Yes.
Because, some people don't know what concierge services are. To be honest with you, I did not find out what it was until I moved down here.
Oh, yeah?
I had no idea. I'm like, what is that? And then I found out that it was another concierge that I had met. And I'm just like, oh, okay, let me go look that up because I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
So
most people think of it as, when you go to a hotel, most people know hotel concierge. And I just don't think that it has transferred to, like, in people's mind, like, oh, like, this can apply to my personal life, right? So I basically do anything that you can think of that's on your to-do list that you can delegate. Whether that be cleaning, whether that be virtual assistant, whether that be running errands, taking your car to get an oil change, planning an event, planning date night, like we said. And when I came up with the services that I was going to offer, I thought to myself while I was in corporate America, like, what things do I struggle with today? And I started to ask my colleagues, I'm like, what do you struggle with? Like, it's like, oh my gosh, like, if I could just get somebody to clean my house. Oh, like, I'm like, when's the last time you took your wife on a date? Like, I don't even know the last time I took my wife on a date. So I sat down, I'm like, okay, what are all the things I struggle with today, and how can I offer that service to someone else that might be in the same predicament to make their life easier, right? Yes. Because if I had somebody that would have pitched this to me 5 years ago, like, my life would have been so much easier, because I would have gladly gave them that laptop at 5 o'clock, like, every single day, just to make sure, like, when I got home, that my time with my fiance was my time with my fiance.
Yes.
So anything that you can think of that is morally okay.
We're gonna get into that, because that's also one of my questions too. Because I'm like, hold on, I want to know what the limits are to this, because if it was me, I
have people in my DMs like going crazy. I'm like, that is unethical. So anything that is ethically okay, Tied Up has you covered. But yeah, we offer like so many services.
That's awesome. So when you started to think about this business, was it because you were working with Safe Light? or was it before then or whatever? Because I know you pulled it from, your experience that you were going through at that time, but was it already thought of?
So when I originally thought about Ty'ed Up, it was just going to be an events company. And at the time I was planning like birthday parties for my sisters and just little things here and there, birthday parties for my friends, grandparents, and I'm like, I really like event planning. So it was just Ty'ed Up events. That was it. Mm-hmm. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, Ty'ed Up, like, that really applies to my life. So I started making a joke about it, like, I am so tied up. Like, girl, I'm too tied up. And I'm like, this can apply to people's, like, everyday life. Yes. So one day, me and my fiance literally were just, like, sitting around, like, just thinking at one of our, like, sessions. And she's like, why can't you have a concierge service where you really help people who are too tied up? And I'm like, yes. And then her biggest thing was like, well, you have to keep the events part because that's your baby. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the reason why it even came about. So you have to keep the events part, but you have to tag on concierge. So then I'm like, Ty'ed Up Events Concierge. And
yes.
So we just ran with it, and that's just what it is.
Yes, we're going to talk about the events part because I was wondering, I'm like, does she plan the events or does she come and set up for the events? So, yeah.
I will do both of them. And in the new year, because I offer so many services, like, I had to tell myself, like, if you don't, like, control it a little bit, miss Ty'ed Up, it's going to be Ty'ed Up. So right now.
I like that. Your wordplay is just so great. I love it.
So now I will plan a full baby shower or bridal showers. Mm-hmm. But yes, I can plan it from beginning to end. Or I can come do same day setup, or we also offer a service where if you have everything and you just want someone there to just wait on your guest's hand and feet, we do have just event management as well.
Oh, okay. So you do everything for real, and I do see why you would, like, I guess you could say cut a few things down a little bit because you still want to maintain your personal life and everything like that.
And I want to maintain that, like, service too, right? Like, I don't want to be so tied up that, I risk quality over quantity, and I've been really big on that. And at Safe Flight, like, I was always big on that with my team. Like, we'll always focus on quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. So if I have 5 customers and I can give them my best, like, I'll take that over 10. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Just to be able to give you that quality experience.
Of course. So let's talk about promotions and marketing and things like that, how you market your business.
So right now, my biggest thing has just been, like, networking. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like, Instagram.
Do you do networking events, or is it you just network, like, word of mouth type thing?
Word of mouth type of thing. My biggest thing has been, like, placing myself where my ideal clients are going to be, right? So whether that be like a cocktail hour or something like that, where just other entrepreneurs of like myself are out just mingling and bringing up my business, because like you said, a lot of people just don't know what it is. And I've tried going to like networking events, but what I found is that I can hand out my business cards like 1,000 times, but my biggest opportunity is the education part of it. So if I don't have a chance to touch you and explain to you what it is, like, they're looking at my business card like, Ty'ed Up Events Concierge.
Right. Just another one.
I'm not sure what that end part means. So like, they're tossing it. But if I can touch you and explain it to you, there's not one person that I'm ever going to talk to that says, what's one thing you can take off your to-do list, and they don't have an answer for me. And right there, boom, I'm going to get you off it.
Exactly.
It's a wrap once I say.
It's going to be memorable, too.